says, "Are we there yet?"
It says long ride. Huh? We'll find out when we get in there.
In 1,000 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
It's fancy green garbage bins.
Campground Host Unit 6.
I don't think this is the right one.
I don't think this is either.
No.
This has turned into a misadventure.
Yep. Campground's that way. Top.
Okay. Campers Road. Yep, this way.
There we go.
Okay.
There it is. At the top of the hill on the left.
We passed the test.
We're not parked yet, Virginia.
Test.
Yeah, no. The part passed.
Pavement ends again. Hey, Spearhead.
Hey, that looks much better.
I have to go in there. No, that's yes. I have to go in.
Oh, have fun. Glad you're driving, not me. This looks much better than the other one, though.
Right.
I'll give it that
Hey
much.
everyone, Travis here from Tales of a Campground Host. We're at Spearhead Campground this weekend, Mother's Day weekend. Never been here before. Definitely a unique experience. Just getting here, Google kind of took us on a detour to the wrong side of the water body. So we had to go all the way around and find our own way. So let's go check out the campground and we'll see what we think of it.
Google made an oops.
Mm-hmm.
This is your destination. Okay, you have to take the fastest route. So
No. Google doesn't know this road exists.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's why it did it that way.
Because right now, if I look at the map, Google says, "Wherefore art thou?"
Yep. Ooh.
Oh, this is gonna be fun coming back out of.
Hate to say it, but this corner is kind of ugly.
Mm-hmm. This section is kind of ugly, Ginny. Let's be honest.
Oh wow, that's the way in is gonna be no fun. Deep little hole. You see here the end, the life ends were right there.
Something there. Interpretive trail of some sort.
Looks like it.
Look what we found.
The same people. That's funny. I guess they followed Google.
Yeah.
Google bet you wanted us to come out right there.
Yep.
All right, so here we are, Spearhead Point. I don't know what I think about this place.
Not sure either.
It's
Unique.
a very unique campground, and it's got some really cool features. As the name would imply, it is on a point on the, I believe, Mado is how it's pronounced, flowage.
I think so.
It's just south of the dam on that flowage. I'll put a map up of where we are so you can find it. It's just to the west of Westboro, Wisconsin, which is a little bitty town. It's on a map.
It is actually. Walking down toward the boat landing.
Yep, and I believe we're, what, far northern Taylor County, right?
Yes.
We just crossed the county line.
Taylor County. We did have an adventure getting out here, though.
Oh, yeah, that was entertaining. So, like most modern people, don't get me wrong, I know how to read a map. But when I'm going somewhere I don't know, I tend to just put it into Google and let Google tell me where to go. Google sent us on the other side of the water that's up here to another campground called, I believe it's Edgewood?
That sounds right.
Which is a small little campground, 12 sites. We'll include a little drive-through because Stephanie recorded footage.
It's a
And
cute little campground. It kind of reminds me of Moose Lake a little bit.
a little bit. The downside is Google wanted us to ford the river.
Yeah.
Wolfpack, for long, wolf balls!
So this is the boat landing. Nothing super special about it. In fact, you can see there's a no parking sign here. They don't want you to park your boats down here. There's no concrete. It's just a basic dirt boat landing. Nothing special. There's a lot of boat traffic on this flowage. Very popular fishing spot. So I guess if you wanted to come fishing, it's a neat place to come.
That I agree with. It's a neat place to come for fishing.
We were on site P17, and I should give you a little disclosure here. We are here at the request of the Forest Service because the host here has no cell service whatsoever, and they were curious if our cell booster would work. And the answer to that is pretty much a resounding no.
Yay.
I got enough service that the jetpack would connect, and the phones never did connect.
No, they did connect. It was through the jetpack, and it was
So we
here
had
and there.
we had very, very, very spotty internet, enough that I could log up, open Facebook Messenger and send a text.
Excuse me.
That's it. So for the purpose of the host, I would say the jetpack is a failure.
Yeah.
Great if you want to get off the grid.
Yeah. That was kind of nice for the weekend, though.
It was. I mean, there was enough connection that
If we needed to, we could get out, but weren't living on technology.
no. It was the maiden voyage of the camper this season, maiden tow for the new tow rig. And I have to report that the tow rig did very well.
Yes, it did. That was nice.
These bathrooms are kind of cool. They're actually preformed, like prefabs.
Hand pump for water.
Very old school. It doesn't actually
Yes.
even have the drinking fountain on it, which is kind of interesting. But like I was saying about these bathrooms, they're kind of interesting. They're a prefab. They're a industrial plastic molded prefab. I'll open one up here so you can get a look at it. It's nothing special, but it's kind of cool. I mean, look at this. This is all plastic. And then they just put a roof over it. So, kind of a neat concept. I did want to take a second and explain what the P in our site set stands for, because you'll notice this one has an S. There's two different fees for this campground. There's standard rate, which would be the S sites, of $15 a night as of the day that we were here. And then there's P sites, which are $18 a night. Which
Fire pits out here.
the P gives you what they call a premium site. It's the sites that are on the lake. You can see that you can kind of see the water here, but there's no direct water access. As near as we've been able to determine, all the sites with direct water access have a pier, a small little pier, a dock. We'll show you that later. And that was a really cool feature.
That is.
Not many people here this weekend, but I mean, it's the first camping weekend in May. It's Mother's Day weekend.
Too.
It's Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
Through the trees up there, you can see the dam as well as the Mado Lodge. I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
I believe that's owned by the Forest Service as well. So again, this site you can see, it's an S, no direct water access. You can see the water, but no direct access. It does appear that they're in the process of repairing some winter damage. We had some pretty wicked ice storms and windstorms come through. And I believe it really caused some damage in here.
Yeah.
You'll see later on that there's definite signs of damage. Where they've been cutting trees and
Trying to clean it up.
trying to fix the road.
Yeah. Winter was not kind.
No, winter was most definitely not kind. We're not going to do a full walkthrough. We do have some video of us driving in of a couple of sites we're not going to walk through. Mainly because those sites down there were pretty heavily occupied, and we want to respect the privacy of the people that are down there. Up to the right here, these are all, I can tell you at least one group left because this site was occupied last night. They pulled out early. But there's like 4 or 5 sites down this way, and this way actually heads towards the entrance and exit, which is a really steep switchback road. Pray you don't meet anybody
No kidding.
coming in or going out, because one of you is going to have to back up, and it ain't going to be fun.
You know, for an inner site, I do like this one.
It's an interesting site.
The downside is there's not much between the road and the site itself.
You can kind of see the beginning of the steep switchback down this way.
Yeah.
I'll zoom in a little bit here, or at least try to. Sorry that it gets kind of fuzzy, that's just the way these things work, but you can see the beginning of the switchback down there.
Excuse me. Trees are starting to bud.
Yes, they are. The allergy season is in full swing. We have the pay station here. We were kind of confused looking for that when we came in.
Quite a ways.
But the whole campground's actually in quite a ways.
Which is nice. I do like that.
Now this is where things get kind of interesting here, because the main road goes this way.
And I'm going to head down a side road. So this is actually considered P1 here that I'm going to walk into. It's almost right off the road. Not terribly bad. Kind of a neat little site, actually. And you can see the road and the edge of the campsite. So there's, again, not much separating it. A grill. And Travis had mentioned that the sites that have direct lake access have a little pier. We'll take a little trip down and take a look at one. Got some nice steps to make it easier getting down here. Oh! Well, I'll take a seat. Twisted my ankle coming off that step. And here we are. Off of Site 1. Into a nice little bay over here. And that's what we just came down. Yeah, this one's kind of a doozy. This actually isn't the one I slipped off of either. There's Site 2, and this one actually looks like it might be a pull-through. Is this the one? Yep, this one's a pull-through.
Stephanie's going to show you some of the sites on the side road while I continue down the main road here. So this will be a little merging of videos here. You can see over here we have another pit toilet. Now something interesting that we were trying to figure out is it almost looks like at one point this site that Stephanie will talk to you about in a little bit used to be accessible from this side, almost like you would back in from here and then use the site, and for some reason they changed it to a pull-through site accessible via that subloop that Stephanie is on. You can see some evidence of the storm damage here on site S5. Plenty of firewood if you're camping on one of those sites. Reservation time is coming. But this is what I wanted to show you. There is some serious storm damage in here. And again, we had some high winds and ice, and some of these bigger, older trees did not fare well. You can see there's a broken tree down there, a huge pile here. You can see where that white pine broke off, probably about 20 feet up. Huge pile of brush here that I am guessing at some point the Forest Service will come and chip up, but they just cleared in order to get the campground to open. You can see where that thing just twisted and shattered in the wind. And no, if you're wondering, I do not believe this to be tornado damage. Pile of logs there. Another down tree in there. And now we're on the same loop that Stephanie's on. In fact, she should be coming up any second now. I wonder if she decided to head down to one of the piers. So I'll show you site P3. A lot of these sites do have grills too, which is kind of cool. We're on the opposite side of the campground now of our site, and you can see there's water here too, hence the reason why it's called Spearhead Point. The picnic tables are really nice. But you can see down there, there's a small pier, which I think is really cool. Oh, we got a goose out on the water, just floating around, hanging out, chilling. But they all have water access if you're on a P site. I do have to say this next site we're going to show you, though, is probably my favorite. I would guess Stephanie's as well. Speaking of Stephanie, there she is. 4. Now this is a site that I'm kind of excited about. If we were to come back here, this is the site.
This is the one I would try and get.
I bet you this is going to be like 19 at Black Lake.
I think so.
I bet you site P4 is like 19 at Black Lake. As much as we would want to get this site if we ever came back here,
I have a feeling this one's almost impossible to get.
There would be a little bit of issue, if you will, leveling the trailer, because the site slopes, you can kind of see down this way, because the trailer would have to go here.
Yeah, there's no other place for it.
But check this out, you've got water all around the site, and it's a huge site. The girls would have a blast on this site.
Dogs would love it.
Oh, I hope the wind isn't too bad. I'm sorry for that. That is one thing we did notice yesterday when we were walking around about the site. There is a lot of wind
yeah,
on this particular site. So I'm going to kind of duck in by these trees here just to cut the wind down. And you can see, there's the pier. Every P site that we've checked out has a pier. But look at that view. I would put my lawn chair out and just sit here.
Yeah.
Let's get out of the wind, shall we?
A few of the sites do have grills on them.
A lot of the sites do.
Some do, some don't.
There's another look at that storm damage I was showing you a few minutes ago. And I would say this is probably the worst of the storm damage.
I would think.
There's other spots where you can go, oh, they cut a tree here. That something fell, but not like that.
No.
That's by far the worst. If you look very carefully, you can kind of see our trailer through the
trees.
Through the trees. Again, don't plan on having cell service here.
No.
I mean, granted, we don't have a phone with every carrier, and maybe that's something we should do, is get a prepaid for every carrier.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yes.
Well, just to add some depth to the videos. Comment down below if you think we should do that. If we should get a cheap prepaid phone for AT&T and Verizon. And we already have T-Mobile.
Yeah. I'm not going to go up this little one.
These sites are occupied.
Yep. And there's only a couple of them through here anyway.
There's a trail back to the well where we were earlier. I'll try and shelter my microphone a little bit. I hope that that helps. And I apologize for any shaky video. I'm out of practice.
Yes.
There's another thing we should look at getting, 2 gimbals.
Yes. That's not a bad idea either.
I actually was looking at some the other day that had shotgun microphones and everything on them.
Oh, cool.
And they just connected to the phone via USB, so you could do all the zooming and record it and stuff right off without touching the phone.
That's not a bad idea. Something. I do think we need something.
Yeah. That fifth wheel back in there is the host. We're actually right next to the host. They're not here this weekend, so we didn't get to meet them. Coming up on the day use area here.
And this place was packed all day yesterday.
There was a lot of activity here yesterday. I don't know if it was people that came in fishing. I didn't see that. It didn't look like they were actually using the structure.
But there were, yeah.
But there was like 4 cars parked here at one point yesterday.
Almost all day.
So I'm going to kind of take you into the structure here. I imagine Stephanie will head down to the lake.
Yep, I'll head around toward the lake.
We're going to start by taking a look at this little sign over here. Oh, some Nature Watch tips over here, and protect the things you love. So they're talking about moving firewood and, you know, how to observe nature without disrupting it. Again, I apologize for the wind. We need to update our recording equipment one of these days. Use of the shelter for registered campers on first come first served basis or by reservation. So it looks like the people that get to use this, I'm going to zoom out here to make this a little bit easier for you to see. There we go. Got its 2 chimneys, 2 fireplaces, I should say, to help. You're not going to heat this place, it's open air, but it adds to the ambience and kind of makes it fun to use. I imagine if you wanted to host a fall event in here, you could tarp the 2 sides and maybe hold a little bit of heat in here. But it's just a good general purpose, like if you wanted to get together with friends and family, place that you could sit.
Ooh, lots of wind coming in off the lake. You can see a couple more piers for some of the campsites along this back side here. Now this is about how far. It's a little steep hill, but not terribly steep. Not like the one off of Lawn that we went down. I can imagine how this campground looks in the fall with all the leaves turning and stuff.
Much bigger pier down below. You can see Stephanie checking that out. We'll wave at each other here. This is about the only grass area here. I will tell you that. Day use area closed after 11. Right next to a site that may or may not influence your decision of what site you want to take when you're here. I believe this is a P site. It looks like there's a pier down there. We'll kind of wander over here and check it out. And then we'll take a look at the... Yep, I see steps. So this is a P site. I thought it was. No beach here. And that's fine. Plenty of water access. You can see the pier down there. Oh, here comes Stephanie. She got bored. You can see our trailer up ahead there, host site to the left, or to the right, excuse me.
Yep.
And up there is, I believe, 4 more sites.
3 or 4.
And again, you can see occupied. We're not going to go up there just to protect the privacy of the people that are camping. We were fortunate. The weather was beautiful most of the weekend.
Gorgeous.
Even today, even though it's kind of
Cloudy
dreary,
and windy yet.
it's not bad. I mean, I'm in a sweatshirt and I'm just fine.
Yesterday we were probably around 70, I would guess.
If not a little more.
Bright, sunny. Did have a good breeze though.
Yep. You can see there's, like I said, the host sign. That is one thing I'm jealous about that this district has. We are not in the Great Divide District. We're actually the Medford Park Falls District. They get cool little carved signs with their names.
I know.
Both of the campgrounds we've been in this weekend were that way. Kind of jealous about that. And here we are back to our site.
Back to the beginning.
Back where we started.
Well, that concludes our weekend at Spearhead Campground. It was definitely an experience. Ended up having to make a run into the closest town because we forgot dog food. But other than that, it wasn't a bad weekend. The weather was beautiful. The campground itself, well, you saw in the tour, I bet you it looks a lot better in the summer and the fall when it's leafed out. And, you know, with the damage that from the winter storm still being fresh, I'm sure that didn't help with how it looks. But overall, really a unique campground that we enjoyed. So until our next adventure, you guys take care, stay safe, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Trailhead, the Ice Age.
Ice Age Trail, yeah.
Alright, I hope we don't meet anybody on the way up.
Billy Goat mode. You've seen us going down, now you're watching us come up.
Locked in first gear. Hope we don't meet anybody coming up. Because I am not backing down.
No.
I will back into there and hope that they can get around me.
I can only imagine what this looks like fully leafed out and in the fall.
Yes.
How much different it would look and how much the experience would change.
Mm-hmm. No problems.
We made it.